Okay, I'm live and direct. I don't know how long I'm going to stay here for. I'll wait and see how many viewers I stay long. If I get quite a few, I will stay longer. The only reason why I'm here is because TikTok again has banned me. The Muslim moderator doesn't like me. It started when I actually started to point out to some women in the crowd, who were Muslim women who were trying to defend the religion. And it started with me pointing out to them how pathetic that they really are. The fact that they have to rely on a man and the fact that they have to rely on men like Lily Dower, Malik Week, Junior, men of that ilk to support them and to give them money and to, look after them is pathetic. It's literally absolutely pathetic. And of course, it was when I was also pointing out that their parents, shouldn't have even bothered to give birth to them because they're so pathetic, that the Muslim moderator decided to banana the live at that point for hate speech and hate behaviour. He also put a strike against it, which was my final account also now in the red. I got 7 accounts on TikTok altogether, and all of them have been put into the red because since October of last year, he's bananaed me non-stop. Okay, I think in October I had 7 bananas. I did actually write it all down here somewhere. So in October, I think I had 7. It might have been more. Let's see if I can find where I wrote it down here somewhere. Where is it? I mean, there's so many of them, that I did mark them all out and go through them all. There was one particular account, which was a brand new account, which he bananaed 3 times and put strikes against it 3 times, which, basically ended that one within a month. So yeah, here it is. It was 7 times in October I got bananas and strikes. There were 5 times in November that I got bananas and strikes, and there was 4 times in December that I got bananas and strikes. And we're in January now, and we're only at the start of January, and this is now the 4th or 5th banana I think I've had in January. So, going back since October, not even 4 months, because of course the 4th month won't be until the end of this month. So 3.5 months, that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 25 bananas and strikes in 3.5 months. Most of them for the same thing: great speech, great behaviour. As I say, it's because the Muslim moderator, he doesn't like me. He doesn't like me because I always speak the truth. He doesn't like me because I also back that truth up with evidence from the Quran, from Sharia, from the Sunnah, and because my knowledge is so great. And of course, this is why he continues to shut me down. And yet again, he's done so again tonight. He restricts me usually within 5 or 6 minutes of starting the live. He'll put a restriction against the live, which obviously keeps the viewers' figures down. And then, as I say, eventually he will banana the live. And he does it all the time. I can't go through a whole evening now doing a live without getting bananaed. It's impossible. I can't do it. the Muslim moderator at some point, you know, will banana me for something or other. I mean, he's even given me a strike now, you know, for comments. The comment was 14 times, okay? It was a lady who does her own music, and she was saying how she's been bananaed 14 times. And I couldn't believe it, you know. And so I just said to her 14 times, I said that on TikTok, the moderators are mainly Muslim. And in Islam, music is haram. It's from Satan. That was the comment I made. That's the comment that he took down and gave me a strike against for great speech and great behaviour. You know, there's been many other times where I've said things that were not, you know, worthy of a ban or a strike. But he's clearly trying to remove all of my accounts from TikTok. This is not the first time this has happened to me. 5 years of using TikTok, you know, this is now 10, 20 times this has happened to me. I've lost loads of accounts already. I've started up loads of accounts, you know, all these ones that I've got are all new accounts that I've less than a year old, most of them. And yet all of them are in the red and are, you know, close to being lost. It's crazy. As soon as I start a new account, as I say, he starts bananaing it and putting strikes against it. A strike, you shouldn't get a strike unless it's a repeat offence. Okay, they only put a strike on the account if it's something that you've repeatedly done. I've had strikes put on brand new accounts. Okay, one of my accounts is brand new. Okay, I only started it in October. I started it in October. Okay, it was about the 9th or 10th of October that the account started. I got the first strike on the 10th, I think it was. Oh, sorry, the 17th. I started it after the 10th. I got the first strike on the 17th, second strike on the 18th, and then the third strike on the 25th. All within the same month. 3 strikes, one after the other. And you're only supposed to get a strike for repeated offences. And neither of them were offences anyway. They were all for great speech, great behaviour, none of which were committed, you know, none of which were true great speech, great behaviour. But because I was speaking out against Islam, you know, as a Muslim moderator, they have to shut that down. Anyway they can. They can't allow people to speak out against Islam, basically. Islam, you know, cannot allow people to speak out against Islam. This is why it's so weak, you know, this is why it's so false. It cannot stand up to any scrutiny at all, but certainly not truthful scrutiny. And this is why I'd like to get this YouTube up and running. But I know if I get this YouTube up and running, that also suffers from the same thing that TikTok does. They are Muslims, you know, who run it and moderate it. All of the social media sites are the same. Facebook, Instagram, you know, YouTube, Taki, you know, they're all run by Muslims, they're all moderated by Muslims, and that's why Muslims go on there, say what they want, do what they want and get away with it, and Christians don't, you know, and Jews don't. They always get bananaed and shut down because it's Muslim moderators who are running the show, basically. But yeah, I mean, that's it really, folks. I don't think I'm going to stay. Only 6 people, no point in me staying. As I say, it would be nice to get this up and running. More people came and supported me here. More Muslims would come and I'd be able to talk to Muslims on this. Sadly, that doesn't happen. It's only the Yankee Doodle Dandies that people want to see. It's only the Yankee Doodle Dandies that people want to hear. So yeah. There you go. As I say, Tiki-Toki, I'm not sure when the first channel comes out of bananas. I believe it is this coming week, I believe. But one of them already had the restriction removed from it, and it's still in the red. So, you know, usually when one restriction comes off, it comes out of the red, but it looks like I'm going to have to get 2 restrictions off of all the accounts before it comes back out of the red. And that, I think, is next week, as I say. I believe at least Top Banana 31, I think, is the first one next week, and then Tony Holly. I think both of those next week come out. I'm not sure. As I say, I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, as we go into February, then more and more. These ones that have just gone into the red, they won't come out for 3 months. 3 months it is, 90 days the restrictions last for, the strikes last for rather. So the ones that have just got into the red now, that's 3 months from now, February, March, April time roughly, will be when this last channel comes out of the red. But like I say, between now and then, I will get more and more coming out of the red, and I will be able to use those channels more and more until, of course, he bananas me again for doing nothing and puts a strike on it again, which of course I think he's going to continue to do, you know. Yeah, I think he will continue to do that. Like I say, I'd like to go to head office, but of course, if I go to head office, then I would like to speak to somebody who's not a Muslim. And of course, that's difficult to do because, you know, the vast majority of the employees are Muslim. So, yeah, obviously, I'd like to go there and speak to somebody about this, but it needs for me to go there and speak to somebody who's not a Muslim, sadly. And that's, as I say, is difficult to do. But anyway, thought I'd just quickly come here and let people know. Once again, the Muslim moderators on TikTok are bananaing me for no reason other than speaking out how false Islam really is. And of course, if they're taking the steps of bananaing me for stopping me to do that, it proves it is false. It proves Allah is not a god. It proves how weak it really is, because it needs a pathetic, weak, stupid Muslim who works for TikTok to keep bananaing me for no reason at all, because he can't defend his religion any other way. Allah cannot defend himself any other way. And of course, the point I was making is how weak and stupid and pathetic are the Muslim women who follow this stupidness, put on a black bin bag, go to the shit when they're told to go to the shit, do work when they're told to do work, and basically pump out babies after babies after babies, because they're so weak, they're so pathetic, they can't look after themselves. Weak, pathetic women, weak, pathetic men, weak, pathetic God, and weak, pathetic book, prophet, and religion. Weak and pathetic, every single one of you. And you proved me right. God bless you all. Peace of Christ to you all.